Motivation Challenge, 30 days to transform your drive. Darsinson. Day 1, set clear goals. Hello, this is Brian Tracy and welcome to Day 1 of your Motivation Challenge. Today we begin by discussing one of the most critical elements of success, setting clear goals. Success starts with clarity. You cannot reach a target you cannot see. The clearer your goal, the easier it is to focus your mind and energy. Vague goals lead to vague results. When you define exactly what you want and by when, your brain begins to work to make it happen. I remember when I was starting my career, I wrote down my goals every morning. I didn't just think about them, I visualized them, wrote them with dates, and reviewed them daily. This simple habit kept me focused and motivated, even when the path was difficult. Your action step for today is simple. Write down 3 specific goals you want to achieve in the next 12 months. Make them clear, measurable, and time-bound. Review them several times today and begin to imagine what achieving them will feel like. Remember, clarity creates focus, and focus produces results. Day 2, commit fully to your goals. Welcome back. This is Brian Tracy, and today is Day 2 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we talked about clarity in goal setting. Today we'll talk about commitment, the fuel that drives you to achieve those goals. Commitment is more than wishful thinking. It's a decision to persist, no matter what obstacles arise. Life will test your commitment. There will be distractions, setbacks, and failures. Without unwavering commitment, your goals remain dreams. I want you to think about a time in your life when you were fully committed to something. Remember the energy, the focus, and the drive you felt. That is the feeling you need to bring to your goals every day. Your action step for today: make a personal commitment to your goals. Say it aloud: I am fully committed to achieving my goals. I will take consistent action every day until I succeed. Write it down and place it where you can see it daily. Remember, commitment turns your goals into reality. Without it, no amount of planning, motivation, or effort will suffice. Day 3, visualize your ideal life. Welcome back. This is Brian Tracy, and today is Day 3 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we spoke about commitment. Today we'll unlock one of the most powerful forces in personal achievement: visualization. Your mind works like a movie projector. Whatever film you put inside, it will project onto the screen of your life. The clearer the picture, the more power it has to guide your behavior. The truth is, all high achievers practice visualization. Athletes do it before competitions. Entrepreneurs do it before launching their companies. You can do it before any important goal. Here's how it works. When you imagine your success vividly, your subconscious mind begins to work toward it automatically. It starts noticing opportunities, attracting resources, and guiding your decisions. In fact, your brain cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined event and a real one. Let me share an example. Years ago, when I was starting my speaking career, I would visualize myself on stage, standing tall, speaking confidently to large audiences. I saw the lights, I heard the applause, I felt the energy. At first, it was only in my imagination, but the more I visualized it, the more real it became. Soon I began getting opportunities to speak, and each time my confidence grew, because in my mind, I had already done it hundreds of times. Here's your action step for today. Find a quiet place. Close your eyes. For 5 minutes, picture your life exactly as you want it to be. See yourself achieving your goals. Imagine the sights, the sounds, the feelings. The clearer, the better. Then each day, repeat this exercise. Remember, what you think about most of the time, you bring about. Your future begins in your imagination. Use visualization to make it real. Tomorrow, we'll talk about speed, why acting quickly on your goals builds unstoppable momentum. Day 4, take action fast. Hello again, this is Brian Tracy, and today is Day 4 of your Motivation Challenge. By now you have clarity, commitment, and a vision, but none of that matters without action. The bridge between ideas and results is always action. Most people make the mistake of waiting. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect opportunity. But let me tell you something, there is no perfect time. Success belongs to those who act quickly, learn from experience, and keep moving forward. I call this the action bias. Successful people have a bias toward action. They don't sit and analyze forever. They don't overthink. They act. They understand that even a small step forward is better than no step at all. Let me share a story. Early in my sales career, I learned that the most successful salespeople weren't always the smartest or most experienced. They were the ones who made the most calls, knocked on the most doors, and spoke to the most people. They took action faster, and therefore created more opportunities for success. Here's your action step for today. Think about one of your top 3 goals. Identify a small action you can take today to move closer to it. It could be sending an email, making a call, researching an opportunity, or starting a task you've been postponing. Then do it immediately. Don't wait. Remember, action builds momentum, and momentum creates confidence. Once you begin, you'll find it easier and easier to keep going. Tomorrow, we'll talk about the 80-20 rule and how focusing on the few things that matter most can double or triple your results. Day 5, the 80-20 rule. Welcome back. This is Brian Tracy, and today is day 5 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday, we talked about taking action fast. Today, I want to introduce you to one of the most powerful principles of success and productivity, the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle. This rule states that 80% of your results come from 20% of your activities. In other words, not all tasks are equal. Some matter far more than others. Here's the problem. Most people spend their time on the wrong activities. They focus on low-value tasks, checking email, scrolling through social media, doing busy work. Meanwhile, the truly important tasks, the ones that create real progress, get neglected. Let me tell you what I discovered. When I first learned the 80-20 rule, I asked myself, what are the top 20% of activities that account for 80% of my results? In sales, it was simple. Talking to customers, closing deals, and generating revenue. Everything else was secondary. Once I focused on those key activities, my income skyrocketed. Here's your action step for today. Make a list of everything you need to do. Then ask yourself, which of these tasks, if I did it consistently and well, would have the greatest positive impact on my life? Circle that task and do it first. This one exercise can double your productivity and transform your results. Remember, success is not about doing more, it's about doing more of what matters most. Tomorrow, we'll talk about discipline, the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Day 6, develop discipline. Hello, this is Brian Tracy, and welcome to Day 6 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday, we spoke about the 80-20 rule, focusing on what matters most. Today, we'll talk about the secret ingredient that makes every success possible, discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your achievements. Everyone has dreams, everyone has goals, but only a few people turn those goals into reality. Why? Because discipline is hard. It means doing what you need to do, whether you feel like it or not. Here's the truth. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Each time you push yourself to follow through, you make it easier the next time. When I was younger, I worked long hours in difficult jobs. There were many times I felt like giving up, but I discovered something important. Each time I pushed myself past my comfort zone, I became stronger. Discipline became a habit, and over time it became one of the greatest assets of my life. Here's your action step for today. Choose one area of your life where you know you need more discipline. It could be your health, your work, your studies, or even your finances. Today, take one disciplined action in that area. No excuses. Prove to yourself that you can do it. Remember, success is not about motivation. It's about discipline. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. Tomorrow, we'll talk about persistence, the quality that separates winners from quitters. Day 7. Build the habit of persistence. Welcome back. This is Brian Tracy, and today is Day 7 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday, we spoke about discipline. Today, we focus on persistence, the single most important quality for success. Persistence means you keep going, no matter how difficult things become. Every great achievement requires it. Edison persisted through thousands of failed experiments before inventing the light bulb. Entrepreneurs persist through setbacks and failures before building great companies. Let me tell you a secret. Persistence is rare. Most people quit at the first sign of difficulty. That's why success is never crowded. It's reserved for those who keep going when others give up. When I started in sales, I was rejected again and again. I remember days when I knocked on 100 doors and received 100 no's. It was discouraging, but I realized every no brought me closer to a yes, and because I persisted, I eventually became one of the top salespeople in my company. Here's your action step for today. Think of an area in your life where you've been tempted to quit. Make a decision right now that you will persist. Tell yourself, I am unstoppable. I will not quit. Remember, the road to success is paved with persistence. Winners are simply those who refuse to quit. Tomorrow we'll talk about feeding your mind daily, how what you consume shapes your motivation. Day 8. Feed your mind daily. This is Brian Tracy, and today is Day 8 of your Motivation Challenge. Let me ask you a question. If you wanted to stay healthy and strong, would you eat just one meal a week? Of course not. You would eat every day. Well, motivation works the same way. You cannot expect to stay motivated if you feed your mind with negativity, gossip, and distraction. You must nourish it daily with positive, uplifting, empowering ideas. I learned this early in my career. At the time, I was struggling financially. One day, I discovered the power of audio programs. I began listening to motivational and educational recordings every single day, in my car, on my walks, wherever I could.
Over time, it completely rewired my thinking. Instead of focusing on problems, I began focusing on solutions. Instead of feeling hopeless, I felt capable and energized. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant flowers, weeds will grow automatically. The weeds are negativity, fear, and doubt. The flowers are knowledge, inspiration, and confidence. If you want a beautiful garden, you must plant and water the right seeds every day. Here's your action step for today. Commit to 30 minutes of positive input every day. Read a book, listen to an audiobook, or watch an educational video. Make it part of your routine, just like eating. Remember, you become what you feed your mind. If you fill it with great ideas, you'll live a great life. Tomorrow, we'll talk about focusing on solutions instead of problems.
Day 9, Focus on Solutions. Welcome back. This is Brian Tracy, and today is day 9 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday, we talked about feeding your mind daily. Today, I want to share with you a success principle that can change the way you think forever. Always focus on solutions. Here's the reality. Life is full of problems. Some are small, some are big, and some seem overwhelming. But problems are not the enemy. They are opportunities in disguise. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is not whether they have problems, it's how they respond to them. Unsuccessful people complain, blame, and focus on the obstacle. Successful people focus on the solution. When I was building my first business, I ran into financial problems. We were running out of cash. Most people around me panicked, but I told myself there must be a solution, and I will find it. That simple mindset kept me calm, creative, and resourceful. And guess what? I found a solution, turned things around, and saved the business. Here's your action step for today. The next time you face a challenge, today, tomorrow, or any day, pause and ask yourself, what is the solution? What can I do right now to improve this situation? Write down at least 3 possible answers. You'll be surprised at how resourceful you really are. Remember, problems are inevitable, but so are solutions. Train your mind to focus on answers, and your life will move forward faster. Tomorrow, we'll talk about your environment, how upgrading the space around you can transform your motivation. Day 10, Upgrade your environment. This is Brian Tracy, and welcome to Day 10 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday, we spoke about focusing on solutions. Today, let's talk about an overlooked but powerful factor in your motivation, your environment. Your surroundings shape your behavior more than you realize. If your workspace is messy, your mind feels cluttered. If your home is disorganized, it drains your energy. On the other hand, a clean, organized environment creates clarity, focus, and peace of mind. When I began writing my books, I noticed that I was far more productive in a clean office. So I made it a rule. Before I start my most important work, I organize my desk. Just this simple habit gave me more energy and creativity. Think of it this way. Your environment can either pull you forward or hold you back. If you surround yourself with order, beauty, and inspiration, you'll naturally feel more motivated. Here's your action step for today. Pick one area of your environment, your desk, your room, your car, and improve it today. Clean it, organize it, or remove clutter. Then notice how much lighter and more focused you feel. Remember, small changes in your environment create big shifts in your motivation. Control your surroundings, and you control your energy. Tomorrow, we'll talk about the people in your life, how associating with the right people can transform your future. Day 11, Associate with winners. Welcome back. This is Brian Tracy, and today is day 11 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday, we talked about upgrading your environment. Today, we'll discuss a powerful influence on your success, the people you spend your time with. You become like the 5 people you associate with most. If you spend your time with negative, unmotivated, or critical people, you will absorb their mindset. Conversely, if you surround yourself with positive, ambitious, and successful people, their energy, ideas, and habits will influence you. When I was building my career, I consciously chose to spend time with mentors, coaches, and highly successful colleagues. Their advice, their example, and their encouragement accelerated my growth far more than my efforts alone could have. Here's your action step for today. Identify the people in your life who lift you up and inspire you, and spend more time with them. At the same time, distance yourself from those who drain your energy or bring negativity. Your future is shaped by those you choose to surround yourself with. Remember, you are the average of your closest friends and associates. Choose wisely. Hello, this is Brian Tracy, and today is day 12 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we spoke about the people in your life. Today let's focus on a critical skill for success, time management. Time is the one resource you can never get back. Once it's gone forever. Successful people don't waste time on unimportant tasks. They plan, prioritize, and focus on what truly matters. Here's a tip I use daily. Plan tomorrow before you go to bed tonight. Write down the tasks you must accomplish, prioritize them, and schedule your time. When you wake up, you have a clear roadmap for the day. Action step for today. Take 15 minutes tonight to plan tomorrow. Identify your top 3 priorities and schedule time to complete them. Protect this time as if it were an important appointment with yourself. Remember, managing your time effectively is not about working harder. It's about working smarter. Day 13. Use positive affirmations. Welcome back. This is Brian Tracy, and today is day 13 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we talked about time management. Today we'll discuss the power of words, the words you say to yourself every day. Your mind is influenced by the messages it receives. Negative self-talk creates doubt, fear, and hesitation. Positive affirmations, on the other hand, strengthen confidence, belief, and action. Each morning I recommend repeating statements like, I am confident, I am capable, I am unstoppable. Say them slowly, with feeling, and believe them. Your subconscious mind will begin to accept them as truth. Action step for today. Create a short list of 3 to 5 positive affirmations that resonate with your goals. Repeat them aloud every morning and evening. Watch as your confidence and motivation grow. Remember, you are what you repeatedly tell yourself you are. Speak wisely. Day 14. Double your energy. Hello, this is Brian Tracy, and today is day 14 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we talked about affirmations. Today we'll focus on the fuel behind motivation, your energy. Energy is the foundation of performance. Without it, even the most motivated person cannot achieve their goals. To double your energy, pay attention to 3 things: your body, your mind, and your habits. Drink plenty of water, eat nutritious food, move your body through exercise, and get enough sleep. These are simple but powerful ways to increase your physical energy. At the same time, feed your mind with positive thoughts and avoid negativity. Action step for today. Pick one area of your physical health and one area of your mental health to improve today. It could be going for a 20-minute walk, drinking more water, or listening to a motivational recording. Notice how it boosts your energy and drive. Remember, motivation without energy is like a car without fuel. Take care of your body and mind, and your performance will soar. Day 15. Conquer fear with action. Welcome back. This is Brian Tracy, and today is day 15 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we focused on energy. Today we'll tackle one of the greatest obstacles to success: fear. Fear is natural. Everyone experiences it. The question is, how do you respond? The most effective way to conquer fear is with action. The moment you take a step forward, fear loses its power. When I was starting my speaking career, I felt fear every time I walked on stage. My heart raced, my hands shook, but I learned to act anyway. With each presentation, the fear diminished, replaced by confidence. The key is not to wait until fear disappears. It never fully does. The key is to move forward in spite of it. Action step for today. Identify one thing you've been avoiding because of fear. Take the first step toward it today. The action may be small, but it breaks the cycle of hesitation and builds courage. Remember, action is the antidote to fear. The more you act, the less fear controls you. Day 16. Reward your progress. Hello, this is Brian Tracy, and today is day 16 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we spoke about conquering fear with action. Today we'll discuss something simple but powerful: rewarding your progress. Success is built step by step. Each time you achieve something, no matter how small, it is important to acknowledge it. Celebrating victories reinforces your motivation and builds momentum. I remember when I was learning sales, after a week of consistent calls, I would reward myself with a small treat, maybe a favorite meal, or a relaxing evening. It kept me energized and focused. Over time, this habit of recognizing progress became a key driver of my success. Action step for today. Take a moment to review your recent accomplishments, no matter how small. Write them down and celebrate them in a meaningful way. This builds confidence, reinforces habits, and motivates you to keep moving forward. Remember, progress is a signal that you are on the right path. Recognize it, reward it, and use it to fuel your drive. Day 17. Create a morning routine. Welcome back. This is Brian Tracy, and today is day 17 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday, we talked about rewarding progress. Today, let's discuss a habit that can transform your entire day: a structured morning routine. Successful people own their mornings. How you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. A morning routine filled with focus, exercise, and positive thought creates momentum and energy that lasts all day. I begin each morning with 3 simple steps: gratitude, visualization, and goal review. I take a few moments to feel thankful, imagine my ideal day, and review my priorities. This primes my mind for action, clarity, and confidence. Action step for today. Design a morning routine of 15 to 30 minutes. Include at least one activity for your body, one for your mind, and one for your goals.
Follow it consistently for the next week and notice the difference in your energy, focus, and motivation. Take control of it, and you take control of your life.
Day 18. Stay in the present. Hello, this is Brian Tracy, and today is day 18 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday, we focused on creating a morning routine. Today, we'll talk about one of the most overlooked keys to motivation, staying in the present moment. Many people spend too much time worrying about the future or dwelling on past mistakes. This drains energy and reduces effectiveness. The truth is, the only time you can act is now. The past is gone. The future is uncertain. Your power is in this moment. When I was building my business, I often faced setbacks that could have derailed me. Instead of focusing on regret or fear, I learned to focus on the tasks in front of me, the immediate action I could take to improve my situation. By living fully in the present, I gained control over my results. Action step for today: throughout your day, pause occasionally and ask, am I focused on the present moment, or am I worrying about something I cannot control? Refocus your energy on what you can do right now. Remember, life is lived in the present. The more you focus here and now, the more effective and motivated you become. Day 19. Develop resilience. Welcome back. This is Brian Tracy, and today is day 19 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we spoke about staying in the present. Today we'll discuss resilience, the ability to rise stronger every time life knocks you down. Everyone encounters setbacks. The difference between winners and losers is how they respond. Resilient people see failure not as defeat, but as feedback. Each setback is a lesson, a stepping stone toward growth and achievement. When I faced early rejections in my sales career, I could have quit. Instead, I analyzed what went wrong, learned from it, and kept moving forward. Each challenge strengthened my skills, my mindset, and my determination. Action step for today: think of a recent challenge you faced. Identify at least one lesson from it and decide how you can use that lesson to move forward stronger. This mindset will turn obstacles into opportunities. Remember, resilience is not about avoiding difficulties. It's about facing them, learning, and rising stronger each time. Day 20. Eliminate excuses. Hello, this is Brian Tracy, and today is day 20 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we focused on resilience. Today we tackle one of the most important mental habits of successful people: eliminating excuses. Excuses are lies we tell ourselves to justify inaction. They block progress, destroy motivation, and prevent success. The most powerful people take 100% responsibility for their results, no matter what challenges arise. I often tell audiences, stop blaming circumstances, stop blaming other people, and stop blaming luck. The only thing you control is your own actions. When you accept full responsibility, you regain control, power, and focus. Action step for today: identify one area in your life where you've been making excuses. Write down exactly what you are going to do to take responsibility and move forward. Commit to no excuses. Remember, success comes to those who take responsibility for their lives. Excuses are the enemy of motivation. Remove them, and you unlock unstoppable drive. Day 21. Focus on one goal at a time. Hello, this is Brian Tracy, and today is day 21 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we spoke about eliminating excuses. Today we focus on the power of single-minded focus. Most people fail because they try to do too many things at once. They scatter their energy across multiple goals, projects, and distractions. The result? Mediocrity. Success, however, comes from focusing on one goal at a time, the most important goal that will move your life forward. When I was writing my first book, I committed to finishing it before working on anything else. I dedicated every morning to writing, every evening to reviewing. It wasn't easy, but the concentrated effort produced a book that became the foundation of my career. Action step for today: choose one goal that is most important to you right now. Write it down and commit to devoting your main focus to it until you achieve it. Eliminate distractions and give it your full energy. Remember, clarity plus focus equals results. One goal done well is worth 10 goals done poorly. Day 22. Learn from mentors. Welcome back. This is Brian Tracy, and today is day 22 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we talked about focusing on one goal. Today we'll discuss the power of learning from mentors. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. The fastest way to success is to study those who have already achieved what you want. Mentors provide guidance, shortcuts, and insights that save you years of trial and error. I was fortunate to have several mentors early in my career. I learned more from them in a few hours than I could have learned in years on my own. Their wisdom helped me avoid mistakes, accelerate results, and develop confidence. Action step for today: identify someone who has achieved what you want. Read their books, listen to their talks, or if possible, reach out to them directly. Study them and apply their principles in your life. Remember, the fastest path to success is following the footsteps of those who have already walked it. Day 23. Keep a success journal.
Hello, this is Brian Tracy, and today is day 23 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we spoke about mentors. Today we focus on recording your journey, a success journal. Writing down your goals, achievements, lessons, and reflections is one of the most powerful tools for motivation and growth. It makes your progress visible, reinforces learning, and strengthens focus. I've kept a journal for decades. Each entry reminds me of what worked, what didn't, and what I must improve. Reviewing it regularly fuels motivation and helps me stay on course. Action step for today: start a success journal. Each day, write down one accomplishment, one lesson, and one action you will take tomorrow. Review it daily. Remember, the act of writing your success creates clarity, accountability, and momentum.
Day 24. Take responsibility for your emotions. Welcome back. This is Brian Tracy, and today is day 24 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we focused on journaling. Today we tackle emotional mastery, taking responsibility for your emotions. Your feelings shape your actions. If you let fear, anger, or doubt control you, your results will suffer. Successful people learn to manage their emotions, stay calm under pressure, and act rationally. I remember facing huge challenges in my career. When others panicked, I remained composed. I realized my emotions are my responsibility, not the circumstances. By controlling my feelings, I made better decisions and kept moving forward. Action step for today: notice when a negative emotion arises. Pause, breathe, and remind yourself, this is my feeling and I control how I respond. Practice this daily to strengthen emotional resilience. Remember, mastery over your emotions gives you power over your life. Day 25, take bold risks. Hello, this is Brian Tracy, and today is day 25 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we talked about mastering your emotions. Today we focus on courage, the willingness to take bold, calculated risks. Comfort is the enemy of growth. To achieve extraordinary results, you must step outside your comfort zone. Bold action, even with some uncertainty, opens doors that hesitation never will. Early in my career, I invested time and money into opportunities that others considered too risky. Many failed, yes, but the ones that succeeded transformed my life completely. Taking bold risks, guided by knowledge and preparation, is essential for real success. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear, it is taking action despite fear. Bold risks create extraordinary rewards. Day 26, review and reflect daily. Hello, this is Brian Tracy, and today is day 26 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we spoke about taking bold risks. Today we focus on reflection, the practice of reviewing your day and learning from it. Success is not just action, it's thoughtful action. By reflecting daily, you identify what worked, what didn't, and how you can improve tomorrow. This habit turns every experience, even mistakes, into a stepping stone toward growth. I make it a daily habit to review my goals and achievements each evening. This reflection keeps me on track, reinforces learning, and strengthens motivation. Action step for today: spend 10-15 minutes reviewing your day. Ask yourself, what did I accomplish? What could I have done better? What is my plan for tomorrow? Write down your reflections. Remember, daily review and reflection is like sharpening your tools before each day's work. It makes you more effective and focused. Day 27, strengthen your willpower. Welcome back. This is Brian Tracy, and today is day 27 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we focused on reflection. Today we'll talk about willpower, the muscle that drives consistent action. Willpower is what allows you to follow through even when motivation fades. It is built by making small, disciplined choices every day. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Early in my career, I developed routines that required willpower. Waking early, studying, making calls, writing daily. At first it was difficult, but over time, my willpower grew and habits became automatic. Action step for today: choose one small, important task that requires self-discipline. Complete it fully today without giving in to excuses. Notice how it strengthens your ability to follow through. Remember, willpower is a skill. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes to achieve bigger goals. Day 28, visualize success before sleep. Hello, this is Brian Tracy, and today is day 28 of your Motivation Challenge. Yesterday we talked about strengthening willpower. Today we focus on a simple but powerful habit: visualizing success before sleep. Your subconscious mind continues to work even while you rest. By imagining your goals, your achievements, and the life you desire, you prime your mind to attract solutions, opportunities, and motivation. Every night I spend a few minutes picturing my goals coming true. I feel the success, the emotions, the gratitude. This habit has been a cornerstone of my lifelong achievements.
Imagine yourself living the life you want. Feel it, believe it, and allow your subconscious mind to work while you sleep. Remember, the last thoughts before sleep are incredibly powerful. Make them work for you. Day 29. Practice gratitude daily. Welcome back. This is Brian Tracy, and today is day 29 of your motivation challenge. Yesterday, we visualized success before sleep. Today, we focus on one of the most transformative habits of all, gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what you already have. It strengthens positivity, reduces stress, and opens the mind to more opportunities. Each morning, I write down 3 things I am grateful for. Each evening, I reflect on what went well. This simple practice keeps me motivated, centered, and optimistic. Action step for today. Start a gratitude habit. Write down 3 things you are grateful for today. Feel the positive emotions fully. Notice how it lifts your energy and motivation. Remember, gratitude is the foundation of a successful, happy, and motivated life. Day 30. Commit to lifelong growth. Congratulations, this is Brian Tracy, and today is day 30 of your motivation challenge. You've made it through an entire month of consistent focus, action, and growth. Today, we talk about committing to lifelong personal development. The journey does not end here. Motivation is a habit, a skill, and a mindset. The most successful people in the world never stop learning, growing, and striving for improvement. By committing to lifelong growth, you ensure that your drive never fades, and your potential is always expanding. Action step for today. Make a personal pledge. I commit to learning, growing, and improving every day of my life. I will never stop striving for my best. Write it down, say it aloud, and make it a core part of your identity. Remember, success is not a destination, it's a journey. Keep moving forward, stay motivated, and live your life with purpose, passion, and drive.